we were watching a movie, we were having dinner.
Yeah.
You brought me dinner, like you have done 100 times before. And I asked you multiple times, like, don't bring me my dinner. Like, I'll get my own happy ass up and I'll go get my own food. In fact, sit down and let me bring you dinner. But you kept bringing me dinner. And then I think the straw that broke the camel's back was we're watching this movie. You had just sat down to your own dinner and I was mostly done with mine. And I was talking about how good the food was. And then you didn't even take a bite of your own food. You then stood right back up and came over and got my plate and took it away to go get me more food. And I was like, I cannot handle this. And that was when I told you, I was like, this is not what I'm interested in. I do not want a partner who's going to wait on me. You're not a waitress. You're a partner, right? We're supposed to do this thing together. And I feel like right now you're putting yourself second. And how are we ever going to be on the same page if I put you first and you put yourself second? How are we ever going to see eye to eye on this, right? Like, let me take care of you. You can take care of you. And then anything that's left over, we can use that to focus on me because I don't need what you need. I'm not a needy person. I don't need attention. I don't have anxiety. I don't have low energy. I'm not an introvert, right? I have excess resources in these areas. So let me invest them in you. I don't need you going into debt with your resources. I don't need you, exacerbating your anxiety. I don't need you running your energy levels even lower by trying to pretend to be this little Latina woman for her big Latina boy.
Taking care of my man.
That's not what I need, right? When I need you to take care of me, it'll count. And you've taken care of me a lot in our life. I've been super sick and you've taken care of me. And you've brought me back from places of deep depression. Like you've been there when I needed you. And the hard conversation we had in that moment was, I don't need you to wait on me hand and foot. And that was not something you wanted to hear. No. I recall you yelling in my face, this is the way I am.
That was my response.
This is who I am. And that's how we ended up breaking up. Because I was like, well, then I don't want to have any part of you.
Yeah. But so that was definitely my answer. But that conversation was the catalyst to
what happened
really
to you?
Big change.
So what happened? Because
I went home, I cried for a while, like a week. I talked to my mom a lot. And then I realized that you were right and I was being obstinate. And so the first thing I did was I found you in the hallway and I made sure that I solidified the connection with you because I didn't want to lose you. I wanted another chance and I knew it, but I couldn't tell you that. So I found you in the hallway and I remember it was a stairwell and I ran after you. I grabbed your arm and I was like, it's really important to me that we stay friends. Right? Like you have a positive influence on my life and it's really important to me that we continue to be friends. And I find a lot of growth from my interactions with you. And if you're okay with that, that would make me happy. And you were like, yeah, and you were great. So that was the first
you're still
step.
Cute.
Because
crazy, but cute.
Because I had a plan at that point. Like I knew, right? Like the case officer knows they're going to make their pitch down the line, right? So I knew down the line, I was going to make a pitch. So I just needed to keep that first contact going. And then I started really reflecting on what you said. And I started putting in the work of not being demure, of making sure I put myself first. And I started going out by myself, which I hadn't been, right? And then we had the same circle of friends. So you would see me out and you would see the difference in my demeanor over time. So over time, you were able to make the assessment by me intentionally changing my behavior that I was really making a change. Right. I was really working on it. So then when I reached back out and started to make passes at you, you were more open to those.
Gosh. When you showed up at my apartment with a deep cut top blouse.
And the Transformers 2 movie.
And a DVD. That's how we age. That's how we date ourselves right there. If you like this short clip, make sure you click here to see the next clip or here to see the full podcast episode.